Love it. You're
I don't know.
You're surpassing your own fame as the best, the king of cheesy tunes. I love it.
With the cheesy music.
That was particularly good.
Yeah, that's good. I might change it each time.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, I like it.
I'd like to have this more than once, if I may.
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
WP Builds here. We've had a little bit of time off. We've had some time. I don't know why we've had time off. You've been away. I've been away. Diaries didn't align. We've just been missing one another, haven't we?
We have.
And here we are. We're back.
Here we are now. And it's always nice, very nice to be here. Good. Very, very nice to be here. Can I ask? Can I ask people who know? Because when I share, for instance, now I shared the link to this in my Facebook group, Design for Geeks. But should I be doing a watch party? What's the difference between sharing a live video link and doing a watch party? I never know. I'm never sure what I should be doing.
No, I would say...
You don't know what I mean.
Why don't you share them both and see what happens?
Yeah, I'll do that. Maybe I'll start a watch
party.
I'll
talk whilst you share. That's fine. That's perfectly all right. We're here today, as always. It says up there, that way. There it is, up there. That we're doing this WP Builds UI UX review, and each month, if the stars align as they usually do, Piccia comes along and gives us her expertise, years of experience looking at print and then the web and deciding what works well. And honestly, if you asked me, it would be a mess, an absolute mess. I know nothing about this, and so it's nice to have an expert on. So we asked people to go to wpbuilds.com/UI, and over there is a form, dead simple form, and you submit your site, and then we just queue them up. Normally there's just enough to get by, so that's fine. And this week, I think we've got some nice ones in store. If you would like to comment on this, go to the messages down there. Go to wpbuilds.com/live. And if you go there, you'll be able to log into your YouTube account and we'll see who you are. If you want to go and log in on our Facebook group, go to wpbuilds.com/Facebook. And you'll have to click the StreamYard link in the description. Otherwise, you will remain entirely anonymous. And today, because StreamYard have updated their platform, we got you the beautiful, ridiculous video at the beginning. And it's also going to the Facebook page, which we have. And that's facebook.com/WP Build. You can go and comment over there. Hopefully, all of those places can be visible. We've got quite a few people looking in already. Thanks for joining us. First of all, Matt. Hello, Matt. Roby and Nick wanted me to apologise for not being able to attend as it's bedtime in Australia. Oh, that's great. Oh, thank you. Nice. That's really polite of them. How lovely. Chris says hello. Now, this is somebody new. Maybe it's somebody new. I don't know. Do you know this? You know this?
I do know this individual.
Okay.
Who sounds like a Bo. It's actually a human being. And he's one of the submitted sites is his site. So This is our friend Aaron. So or Aaron. Do you say Aaron or Aaron? It's got two A's.
Don't know.
Aaron.
If it's I say Aaron. I say Aaron. Yeah.
Aaron. Foreign.
Anyway, hopefully we'll get some information from out of Piccia about your sites. Anyone submitted kinsta.com. We should do that. We should fully do that. Hello. Piccia Neri, WP, and Nathan.
Hello, Leo. So many friends. I feel privileged. Rick, hi, Rick.
Not Nick, Rick. Apologies, Rick. Sabrina says hi.
Wow.
And Hannah. Hanu.
Yes, Hanu submitted 2 sites. Really looking forward to them.
Okay. So welcome to you all. The procedure is basically we'll share Piccia's screen and she'll just go through things. I will interrupt if I feel there's something that I want clarifying, but to get the best out of Piccia, her time is valuable. And so get the best out of the time. Put questions in the post and I will interrupt as and when I see fit. But yeah, let's get underway, shall we?
Yes,
I will.
Please do comment. Don't hesitate to comment. Also, the site owners, I may have a question even. I may say, okay, you know, so therefore, to have you here both. Okay,
yes.
so
before I want to promote your stuff very quickly. Piccia's group.
Yes,
go and join Piccia's group. Facebook.com/groups/design for geeks. Be sure to at some point today go and subscribe to her group.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not there yet, which you probably all are, but yeah.
But if you're not, go for it. So here we are. Yeah. This is the first one we've got. Let's dig in.
Yes. So what I do usually, because I change, but usually in most cases I actually don't like to look at the sites before. I like to have a fresh eye. So in this case, I haven't actually. I had visited the one of them, but I don't really know what is in there, which I think makes it more interesting sometimes.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
totally
fresh. So I like that.
Nice.
I like the fresh. Yeah. So the first thing that I do is I always look at what what the call to action is, because when you build a site, and quite interestingly, this is the one thing that most people don't do, you have to think, what is the one thing that you want your users to do? Because the really interesting thing is that we think that we know, but that, you know, that it's really obvious, that it's really clear, but it's not really. I mean, in this case, yes, it's absolutely clear what happens here. It's a legendary self-defense training since 1983. Brilliant. I definitely know immediately what it is about, but there's nothing for me to do. There's nothing. What do I do with this information? The only thing that's left for me to do is to actually look further. But the thing is, if you have something here that engages me immediately and that asks me to take action, you are going to get much better results with your site, I think, because you immediately make it not about you, not about the business, but about the person who's visiting your site. So Sario Academy. So now this is from Hanu, who is also a friend. And may I just say that, you know, in a bout of nostalgia for those, you know, simpler and quite frankly sort of innocent times when we did things such as going to work camps, real ones with real people in the flesh. So we knew each other, of course, from Facebook, from maybe WP Elevation. I can't remember. Anyway, we knew each other, and we met in the wonderful Helsinki. So I love Scandinavia, so it's so great. And that's one of the things that I'm going to do, is I'm going to be touring. Anyway, but apart from that, let's not dream about travel. But I had a wonderful time. That work camp was brilliant. I just loved it. So thank you, Helsinki. So so here we are, and the one thing really that shifts completely any site is to make it about the person that visits you rather than make it about you. So even though this is great that it tells me exactly what it is, but I'm wondering whether even here there's a way of getting people more involved by doing something like that. And you could do it in a variety of ways that we can say, but I just want to see what more goes here. Our mission is simple: to educate people. Sarah Academy is a community which allows its members to learn and succeed for their personal benefit, but also give back and share experiences to generations that follow. Okay, so that's great. But what do you want for people to do? What is the purpose of this site? So although I'm learning more about Sari, and it's well written, and that's great. So absolutely nothing to say about that. That's great. But I think that it would be great if there was something there. So who are we? So there was a little bit of there was a slight animation. My computer is temperamental because it's hot here, and so it's a bit slow also because we're doing the video. So, but the animation like that is absolutely fine. You know that I usually complain about animations, but I don't have a problem with these because they're very subtle, and they immediately stop as soon as they come in. So it's quite nice. It's just a nice little feature. Anybody notice what I haven't said?
Yes. That text is not aligned. And it is further down. Further down, it is aligned, which is a bit interesting as well.
So you're mixing alignments, and that creates a real sense of confusion. So basically, it's fine here. The title in the center is fine. There's no problem with that. That's something that's down to preference. I don't like it, but that's fine. But here, what you're doing is you're mixing alignments, and that's never good. So this is centered, but it's centered to one column, and this is centered to 2 columns. And the result is that look at all the corners, not angles. Look at all the journey that my eyes has to take.
Yep.
And also I have this, anyone who's watched one of these is like, laughing their heads off now. Of course, the centered alignment. It's my bugbear, and it's a running joke. But really, when anybody who then thinks about it doesn't really ever do it again, because basically a lot of people just do it because every single page builder or template has there are so many centered layouts. You just take it and you do it and you don't think about it. But if you think about it, then you stop doing it, because if I were dyslexic, for instance, my eye would be jumping all over the place. It would be terribly hard to make the journey to actually read. I really like the text hierarchy is great. You guiding my eye with the hierarchy, because this is bigger and bolder. And so you are giving the information an order of importance by using text visual hierarchy. So I really like that. But if you aligned, then you would make my life much easier, because I tell you also what happens to me. To me, here, what I see much before I see the text is that I see a cup, a cappuccino cup. I'm missing the handle.
Yeah.
And I can't help it. That's
even got a saucer.
Exactly. It's got the saucer. It doesn't have the handle, but it has the saucer, and it could be one of those that serve in certain hipster place that don't have the handle. So I can't help it. That's what I see first and foremost. I see shapes. The eye needs an anchor. It's all about not making your users think. It's all about don't make me think. So don't make my brain work hard when it's not necessary. So align. And also alignment is the most powerful way that you have to guide the eye properly. So use it. So here are we? But now I'm thinking, so read more about the Academy and read more about Sarah. Can I just say one thing? Another thing, so this website takes for granted a few things. And one major one is that I don't know where you are. Where are you? So you maybe, and a lot of local sites do this. People that are very much geographically defined by their geographic location, which probably this Academy is, then they never tell you where they are. But the thing is, I think you're missing the boat, because what if I'm visiting and I don't know where you are? Or what if now you need to go online? You might be, I don't know if you do online instruction in the times of the virus, I don't know. But I think that you're missing out, because also, what is the main purpose of this website? It can't be just informative, because too much work has gone into it, because it's a lovely site and it's got lots of no events. Oh, so sad. One day soon. So it's really slow. It's not the site. It's definitely my connection. So this is quite nice. We're always looking for new ideas and friends. So don't hesitate to get in touch. So read about our programs, learn more about Safe Kids. So what I would do is, so the self-defense thing is brilliant. I mean, this looks like a really amazing place that's also based on community. So I would say what I always say, and it also looks like there's lots of content there, but you should decide on one thing that is the most important purpose of the site. Why is this site here? What do you want people to do? Because if it is to go to the events, I mean, obviously maybe not now, but when you have a button here for events, or calendar, or learn more about self-defense, which presumably would be more, it would be something like that at the moment, unless I have no idea what the situation is like where you are. So, and there's lots also testimonials. If you have testimonials, have them on the homepage. I didn't see them. I don't think I saw them on the homepage. Definitely have testimonials on the homepage. Whatever you do, whatever your business is, if you have testimonials, put them on the homepage without a doubt. What people say about Sario Academy, and it's definitely going to be nice things. So put them there. So, but as you've noticed, okay, so this is, some of it is in. So I assume that, where is it? It's in Finland, I think, isn't it? But if I were in Finland, I wouldn't know where this is. It's a big country. So also, Hanu, are you in Finland?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know if the intention is to sign people up, or if
what
it's
is
just
it?
as an informational repository, just this
but
is what we do.
But it can't be, because there's so much information here. There's clearly, it's this website with lots of great content. So I would think that too much work has gone into it for it not to have more of a purpose. They operate all over the world. So interesting. So that's,
there was a bit on the homepage where it said Sario Academy is an international blah blah blah. I can't remember the wording, but yeah, which made me believe it's more of a brochure site for the umbrella organization, as opposed to the little departments around the world. Not sure.
But then in that case, I'm really not sure how I can, because I'm really interested. That's something that I'm definitely going to do one day, because I don't have enough hobbies. So I will take up some martial arts, something. So, but so what I don't know is, how can I get training? What can I do? Because if maybe they operate somewhere near me, but I don't know. There's where.
There's a little events thing in the menu, but that's the only guidance I've got there.
Yeah, but then I don't think so. What we teach, kickboxing. So what I mean is that, and this is more that it's not designed, because the UI, apart from the centered thing, is really nice. It's not. So I would say that that's the one thing, but it's more it's not so much design, it's more content, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's part of the UX. That's what I look at. So it's the experience that I'm commenting on. So what makes Sario Academy courses so unique? I'm really curious now. I actually want to know. Professional instructors, and it still doesn't say anywhere that it's in the who we are, Hanu is saying, clubs, but it's not clear at all, and it should be. It's crucial, because
thanks for pointing it out.
Yeah. It's crucial, because that's I didn't know. So what do you want me to do? How do I make the most of this site? I don't know how to make the most of it, basically.
Yeah.
Is my point. So we need to move on, actually, because I'm realizing.
Yeah, we will. Such a good point about the location, says Sabrina. It's just unbelievable how often even restaurants don't have it exposed.
I know.
It's in a big
extraordinary.
City. An exact location matters a lot. Can I just say, I really like, just on a personal level, I really like the cartoon on the homepage. The sort of, I don't know what style of cartoon that was.
Yeah, it's great.
I just really liked it. It was different. I've not seen a site do that for a long, long time, and I like that.
I think we should say that, because it's. I'm not a fan of the text on the image like that. It's not as disturbing as in other cases, because there's not much of it. But I just don't like it. When you have an image, either you want people to see it or you don't. If you put text on it, then it's like, what do you want me to see and look at? The image or the text?
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a clash up here between the Sario logo and there's Defendo, which is probably a discipline, isn't it? So there's a bit of a clash there. It's a bit confusing. You probably would be much better off having, even though the logo is usually on the left, but if this is the image that you want to use, then probably you want it on the right. And I would just recommend not just, I know that you're using a shadow for the text to make it more legible, but it's not. Those are just stratagems. Do you like the word stratagems? Stratagem?
Ooh, yeah. That's good.
It's not. You should simply full stop. Text needs to be on a plain background. That's it. So I would make it smaller. I would align it, and I would probably put it over here on the left. And it's not going to be, actually, the ideal place for it in this image would be up here on the right, but it's not where the eye lands usually. The eye hardly, because we start reading from the left. I mean, attention also depends on what you were looking at earlier, so it's not that clear cut. But it's not necessarily the first place where we look is the left, because in the Western world, which is what we're talking about, because that's where the text starts from, and it's only the center if we were looking at the center before. Otherwise, it's not necessarily the center. So your best option would be an image, or maybe alter this image if you can, so that it looks like a vector. So it should be possible to have room up here on the left and have it there, because so where the negative space is. But otherwise, really nice style, just great. And obviously,
very cool.
So much great content. So and I'm really interested now. Super interested. So we need to move on.
Okay.
And the next one, Hanu, just ask other questions in the group.
Yeah,
whatever, if you want.
I will just interrupt at that point, like Sabrina and Hanu did. If you've got anything you want to add, please just chuck it in the comments.
And any further questions later on. So this one is Bo's site, Aaron's site, so again, I had seen it before, but I haven't really looked at it. So WooCommerce payment gateways. I mean, what could be clearer than that? What are you here for? I'm here for what can I give you? WooCommerce payment gateways. There's can't be. So what I see now. I just see it's always a
champagne, like one of those cocktail glasses this time.
Cocktail glasses, or those cocktail glasses that the collapsible cocktail glasses is what I'm looking at, or an inverted ziggurat.
Like the Babylonians had.
The pyramids. I've seen some in South America, and there's nothing's going to change that, and it's been happening to me since forever. That's what I see. I can't help it. I see the shape first. So then I have to struggle to see what it is. Whereas if it were left aligned, it would be so much easier. And you could actually make a tighter block of it. You would probably have WooCommerce and then payment gateways on the following line. Because because also with it, support and trust needed to be successful. Let's start something amazing. Great. And also you have a call to action. Well, this is perfect. See the plugins. So I'm going to do that. But I also want to say how you've done a brilliant job here, because this is something that I also say all the time. That is, when you have lots of logos that have different colors, different sizes, different shapes, different everything, the best thing that you can possibly do is create features that make them similar. Because otherwise it's going to be our brain is going to go into visual overload. So you've made them all white or black or grayscale against a bland, neutral, gray background. So that's perfect. Well done. But I think it would look, this page, I love the simplicity of it. It's not blue. It's tech and it's not blue. So well done for the purple. Yes, love it. Love the.
Can I ask you a question at this point? You see that button, see the plugins, right?
Yeah.
Is that the right size? Do you like it padded equally top, left, right, bottom? Or would you go full width to the container with that button? In other words, do you really want to shout about that button? Make it as wide as it says WooCommerce payment gateways, or is that about what you would do?
Okay, so if it were too huge, it would be too big. We don't need. It's not needed. I think the padding. Maybe I would make it a little bit bigger. I like the padding. The padding's good. I think you know what I'm going to say about it. It's good that it looks interactive because when I hover over it, something happens. So I know that it's interactive. What I wouldn't do is when something is interactive, then I'm not sure it's a good idea to make it go sort of, it kind of looks grayed out. It's a darker version of this color, but it makes me feel like it's inactive. Do you know what I mean? Because usually when things, I would go maybe brighter, or maybe I don't know. I might be wrong. I also like a little bit of a gradient on buttons because it makes them look a little bit 3D and it makes them look more interactive. That's what I like. You don't need to go neomorphic, not skeo. You remember skeuomorphism was when you actually reproduced elements that looked exactly like the reality. So iBooks.
I was looking for that word Monday in our news. I couldn't remember because Apple
all you would ask me.
No, I was on a live broadcast. There was no hope.
No hope, unless I was on the broadcast.
Yeah, skeuomorphism. That's it. That is the
skeuomorphism. So remember the iBooks shelf,
the iCal with all the stitching and all
exactly. That's the one. And now there's this new thing which is sort of somewhere in between them, and that I really love, and it's called neomorphism, and it actually uses debossed, and that's a printing term, things that look like they're not in relief, the opposite of in relief, kind of incised. No, down. In relief is up, and but look it up, neomorphism. I think it's super interesting, and because you're helping the eye, you're making things, because it is a reference to the real world where things that you push are 3D, and therefore you're basically helping there. So I'm now going to click, and I am going to see what the plugins are, and then I'm going to make a comment about the typography. Remind me, please.
Okay.
So I've clicked, and it's not the website that's slow. It's
that's okay. We get it.
It's the whole thing. So so again, you're telling me what it is, and that's great. So here you're telling me regular updates, fast support is easy to use. So but you haven't, I don't know. So I'm not the target audience for this because I don't think, I use Stripe. My needs are way simpler, way simpler. So I doubt I'll ever use this. I'll ever use this, but I'm just wondering whether it's needed. Maybe it's not needed, actually. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. WooCommerce payment gateways. That's it. That's what you need to know, probably. And then you show what they are. Yeah, I suppose that's fine. So one thing and here they are. So it's a really muted. He does colors well, doesn't Aaron?
They are nice. They're very
palette.
Yeah, okay, muted. Okay.
Muted palette that just works well. Obviously, I guess you're having to use also their brand because it is third-party companies that are involved. So I imagine that you have to use what their colors are, I imagine. But you've done a really good job on making it look quite unified. There's a lot of, the unity of these designs is really good, and quite nice that you put this in the middle, because otherwise it would be lonely, lost and forlorn, alone on one line. So I really like that.
It's interesting. He seems to have organized them by the amount of text. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, well,
it isn't. The one at the top disproves what I've just said. Ignore that.
No, but anyway, I love the sense of order. What I think is a little bit that could be better is it's all a little bit cramped. I would like a little bit more air. There's not that much breathing space. And that goes also, although I absolutely love how big the typography is, thank you. I really love that. And I love how this very, very subtle animation that tells me that this is interactive. So here, I mean, the whole thing is it's really subtle, isn't it? Don't you love it?
Oh, it's kind of tipping, isn't it? It's almost like it's going. Yeah, that's really nice.
Is it blurring a little bit, or is it me? No, I think it's decolor, a slight desaturation. So in this case, I don't care about the color that you use, is fine, because I just think that it's so clearly interactive. I very much like it. The unity of this page that has all different logos and all different things, and yet it looks really, really, unity. You understand? You know, that's what it does. So, but I'm missing a little bit of breathing space. And again, obviously here, if I'd like it to be all aligned, because clearly you're clearly a neat freak, Aaron. You like your order, so why not align? So create a real order, because this is this is the only messy bit. I love the logo as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. The three columns that he's put in there: regular updates, fast support, and easy to use. They are exactly on message for me. They are the things I want to know. Does it get supported?
Yeah.
Is it often updated? And how hard will it be? And I really like the fact that the amount of money it costs is just like there, just hanging around in the corner.
Yeah, so I have to say that this UX is great.
Now, you said fonts.
Yeah, just fonts. The only thing is that, so because this is brilliant, why not go a little bit more inventive with the typefaces? One thing that I don't like so much is that your headings typeface and your copy text type body copy typeface are both sans serif. They're very similar. There's not that much of a difference. I love how you've made it 100%. I bet this is completely accessible. I mean, we'd have to check, and I'm not an accessibility expert necessarily, but I have to say, just so easy for me to see.
Can I guess what the font is? I know nothing about fonts. Can I guess that where it says regular updates, that's Ubuntu?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it is.
That's the depth of my knowledge.
I'm pretty
it's not
sure
Ubuntu.
it is.
That's all I know.
I'm checking now.
I actually like that font a lot.
I like. I'm not saying that I don't like it. I'm saying that there isn't enough. Yes, it is. Of course. Look.
Oh, get it.
Are you happy?
Yeah, that's it. Literally, my day is made. My life is complete. I have identified a font successfully.
And I think this is Montserrat. I think you have.
I was going to say that. Oh.
But it's because you use it, don't you?
I do. I love Montserrat as well. So I'm right there with you.
So I tell you what I don't like about Montserrat. Well, Montserrat was basically, it's a ripoff of a font that I call the Obama font, which is called Gotham. And it's a font from a really posh. This is Montserrat, isn't it? Where is it? Anyway, I know it is. I'm just going to close it.
It does look like Montserrat.
Yeah. So I see the W here. See how wide it is. There are a few letters that don't have. So the difference between the width of the W and the width of the C is huge. So to me, it doesn't. The proportions don't always work for me.
Interesting.
But it's not. I think that this is too much similarity. When you do font pairings, you can definitely pair by similarity, but it's usually safer to pair by contrast. Or also, I can't remember what Ubuntu looks like, but why not just use the one font? I am a real proponent. I can't remember because to use just one font, I've just done a typography masterclass, which was fantastic. I loved it. And I am also, I'm not selling it because it was a live thing. And I don't think that you can sell a live thing to people that were not there. It just doesn't feel like, it would be the same. But I am now, it's going to be a course, like a, normal course very soon. And everybody who was on it said, because there's a big chunk of it that's on font pairing, but I couldn't just do it. And I had so much to talk about. So we're going to do one specifically on font pairing. And the thing is that to me, the best font pairing that you can possibly do is to just use one font I don't understand why not. So what you need to look at is whether that typeface that you choose has enough weights, enough styles, so that you can create your hierarchies and your visual, variety with just the one font. You would need to check that, because also there is a blog. We're gonna check the blog. But anyway, brilliant. I have to say that in terms of giving people what they're here for, fab.
Yeah, it's really
and also
nice.
In general, I have always struggled with fonts. You're doing quite well for a struggler, to be honest. I am nitpicking here because there's nothing wrong with this pairing, nothing wrong with it. It's just a little bit too similar. But actually, also it's risky to pair two sans serifs. These are two sans serifs, and usually, but actually, once I look at it and it looks fine. It doesn't. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm nitpicking. I really am.
Yeah, it's nice. I like.
But that's what I'm here for, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
So I just want to go into because so that's the one thing. Why, Aaron? Why find out more rather than buy?
Yeah,
it's interesting. So I'm clicking to find out, to actually find out more.
Here we go. Let's find out more. Ooh, now there's a surprise. I didn't expect that.
So find out more. You could actually say, okay, there's nothing wrong with find out more, but it makes me think like there's nothing wrong because it's actually what you're doing. One thing that I always go on about is how the button should always correspond to what people are going to get. So if you say find out more and then the button takes me somewhere else, something else happens, it's like I thought I was finding out more and I'm not. So here I am finding out more, but there wouldn't be anything wrong with buy here. But I think I'm fine with it, because in the sense that maybe you don't want to be, I don't know. I need to think about it.
It went very dark suddenly though, didn't it? The site is dominated by the very dark. Yeah, it's interesting.
Really dark.
I like it.
But what is happening here that I think could improve is that there is too much information, too different, too squeezed. So you need to differentiate your areas a bit more, because also the dark background is Marmite. So, and sometimes, I really love it aesthetically, but sometimes I can't. I find it difficult to process the information. And here, your typography is fine, but then here, I think if this, or the price is big, which is great, single site, 5 sites, 10 sites, just really clear, really clear, really nice, very neat, very, very neat. So just make it tidier. Just tidy it up by creating a separation. And you could do...
One quick thing. What do you think about the contrast of the link color where it says Sage Pay above 5 sites? Because that's quite dark on a dark... the little...
above 5 sites.
Oh,
yeah. I could bet that's not accessible. What's the color? I can...
It's the hover color there, isn't it, I feel? Almost.
No, I think it's not the hover color, but it looks like it is, because no, it's not. But this is actually slows me down too much. Anyway, it slows me down a lot.
That's okay. Would you advise going a bit lighter on that though when you've got the dark
background?
Well,
I would advise to go on contrast checker.
Okay.
So if someone can give us the colors, then you go on contrast checker.
Oh yeah, I think you've showed us this before. It's a nice site where you just spits out exactly what you need to know. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and the way, if it doesn't work, but this is really, it's just like basic. But if it doesn't, I'll show you really super quickly. A technique to get the color right without changing the hue, without going like randomly picking colors that are not the color that you want to use because it's a brand color. So can someone give us the AX codes?
Let me I can probably do that, but just because I can't see the URL of this site. I apologize because it's blanked out on my screen with all the information about who's watching and whatnot. What's the URL for this site?
I'll give it to you right now. Put it in the chat.
Then can you? Right. Okay.
So yeah, in the meantime, Aaron, I would just tidy it up. It's great. I like it, but you tidy it up and creating with more space between the elements and creating more delineated, clearly delineated regions of space. But it just needs a tidying up, nothing else, because everything else is great. And then also, before I forget, it's in the. Oh, okay, yeah, great. So is that?
Oh no, I appear to have a different one to Aaron. Aaron's got 282828. I've ended up with, what did I end up with? E2037D. Don't know.
So sorry, what's the background?
Do Aaron's 2828. Oh, the background. Sorry, I thought you wanted the color.
Both.
Of the, yeah, hold on.
So foreground would be the font.
Yeah, let's go for that. What is the color of the background? Try Aaron's 282828. I don't know if he's got it.
For the background, or is that it's the background, isn't it?
No, here's the back. No, it isn't. That's been removed.
282828 sounds like a grey, to be honest.
Okay, let's go with that then. I was giving you the font color, so yeah.
And then
that's it. That looks like it, right?
Sorry, I got it wrong. Yeah. So yeah, hang on. I'm getting the font color now. Nah. Why did you have? So it's a fail. Just above, just over 18 points is the only one that works. So it's not going to work for that. So what you do, this is what you do. You go to coolers.
Love this.
Yeah, and I'm just going to go straight to generate without logging in because it might take too long. I apologize for the and basically you choose you use the same color and you don't change the hue, which is the color, and you just change the saturation or the brightness, and that gives you another color, and you experiment in the contrast checker and you see whether that works. Because also an issue with this button against this background is that actually with the big version is fine. As it says in the contrast checker, it says above 18 points. So also graphic would work. But some people would see it a little bit vibrating because this color is a bit brown, and brown and red don't work together.
Okay.
So yeah, I am ready. So they've recently changed the interface for this, and it used to be better. Used to be easier to use. So there you go. Here I've got the color, and this is the one that I think. I mean, you could change the gray as well, but so what rather than the shades, I mean, you could look at the shades, but the shades, I don't know how he calculates the shades. I'm not sure, because also the shade thing is more of a print real world concept, because the shade is when you add black to a color, and a tint is when you add white. But I don't know how he calculates those given what the web is like. Do you see what I mean? So this was the original color, which has black in it. So what I do instead is I go to so where is it? See what it's where? Okay, I go here and I go to HSB, which is hue, saturation, and brightness. The actual color is the hue. Saturation and brightness are attributes of the color, which is the brilliance of it, the quantity of it, and the light that is in it. Also, it's not recommended to use highly saturated colors on the web. This is very highly saturated. So you can either go down in saturation or go down in brightness to pick a color that would work against that background. However, given the fact that it's tiny text, what I would do if I were you, I just wouldn't use it for the links for two reasons. First of all, you're not going to find a color in this range unless you go like really bright, which would probably go very pale pink. You're not going to find a color that is accessible with this background at this size. So I would you underline it, just use an underline. Because you need to anyway, for accessibility, you need to underline your links. Basically, that's all there is to it. So we have to move on. We're late.
Can I just say, Aaron, please get in touch with me, and we should get you on the podcast, because this looks like a really interesting subject to talk about. So
yeah. I mean, it's brilliant. And actually, Aaron, I know that you've got wonderful reviews. Where are they? You need your reviews. Look, these are, I mean, this is all great information. You've done right in putting it where you've put it. That's absolutely fine. But why aren't the testimonials more prominent? Because I know that you've got amazing testimonials. So I would recommend that you do that. We don't have time to look at anything else. But I hope that this helps. And we need to move to Savonlinna cruises.
Okay. Ooh.
Hugely looking forward to. So I think there was a time when we were doing one site per review just to give it more time, wasn't that?
Now we're on to 3. Check us out. We're getting
changed.
Better.
I think it is nice. But anyway, so boat cruise in Savonlinna is enough Afghanistan experience. So this is the translation of. So again, this site I did have a little look at, because I cannot wait to do a cruise somewhere in Scandinavia.
Yeah.
So this is where I was going. Where is it? Where can I do this cruise? Because presumably you are catering to an international crowd. So where is Savonlinna? I don't know. So what you're making me do is you're making me Google it, which is fine, but better. So you are taking for granted that I know where the Saimaa archipelago is or where Savonlinna is. And you're excluding a big chunk of the population who doesn't know but may still book. You don't know. So that would be my first thing. So in order to find out where it was, because I did look at this because it's a travel site, so I would always look at it. I had to go to Contact Us. But even that doesn't actually say. So even the address says Savonlinna, but it doesn't tell me which country it is. So I'm like, give me a country. So, and I don't know what country it is. So it's Suomi, so we know that. But so what I did is there was a map somewhere. So by now you'd have me, on there was a map. I found a map somewhere, which I now can't find. But yes, so that's the first thing that I would recommend. Do not take for granted that it's fine to not have your location there. And again, say exactly the same thing. Hanu, really happy to help. Great, good that you found it useful. So also, again, this is a lovely looking site, absolutely. And I would make this panel on top of the boat way darker. And can you flip the photo perhaps? Because again, you've got you've got the negative space where you can put the text on the right and not on the left. So that's something that professional photographers know to do. They will always take a photo in a way that makes it really easy to put text on it. And that's also why you blur the background, why you use, depth of field. And, I worked on the Sunday Times magazine and other publications for ages, and it's always never a problem to put text on an image because that's what pros do. So what probably, and this is an awkward photo because the sky has the buildings on it and you don't quite have enough room on the sea. So I think that maybe I would, I don't know, blur the background or anyway, but the top isn't that interesting. So maybe you should do that. Maybe you should make the top really darker, have the panel on the top. I don't know. But this compromises legibility. And again, it's like, what do you want me to look at? The photo or the text? I can't look at both at the same time. My head spins. So, I mean, it's not that bad. So, I don't want to exaggerate. But I just recommend that. And because what you want to do with the boat cruise, you really want to draw me in with an image. The image is going to tell me that it's an unforgettable experience. And I think that probably, sorry, say something, Nathan, because I need a sip of water.
Oh, no. I was going to question whether what you thought about that sharp line, the sharp vertical line where he's got his darker background and then suddenly the light image to the right. I wondered, that was the first thing I saw, was how that pen, it's like a ruler has been drawn down. I found that a little.
I don't mind
you're
that.
You're okay with that? Okay.
Yeah, I think you could do something really nice with that. I think you could, no problem.
I was wondering about a fade, like a little, just so it transitions, but who knows?
I have a lot of experience in doing gradients and photos. You'd have to work it out in Photoshop. You couldn't risk it moving around. And also, it's really hard to do it in a nice way. I used to be Photoshop queen and doing lots of posters for films and things like that. And it's hard to be good at it. And a photo like this, because there's no natural blend in it. Where you could get the natural blend is from the river line, from the water line to the top. You could do that, something there. You could do something that looks vaguely natural there. But what you should do is, I'm sure that if you had a better, a more intriguing photo, maybe you would have used it. That's possible. But that's what I think the client should invest in. They should invest in like a great photo shoot with images absolutely draw me in and make me go, wow, here's an unforgettable experience, without needing to say it. But if you have to say it, then why not? You've got this area here. It doesn't add anything to the experience, the top of the image where the buildings are, and just put the panel there, pin it to the top and make it way darker so I can read. And then you have the rest of the image.
Yeah.
Then you have the rest of the image. You see the boat. The panel is never going to go on it. And so do that. So go on a cruise in Southern Linda. So also this is a bit too small for me. It's
I'm
it's
literally leaning in, but
yeah. So I don't know. This photo is not. Maybe it's more intriguing than this one. I don't know. But it'd be interesting to know, Hannah, what the photo's situation is. But again, what do you want me to do? You want me to book? Where can I? If I want to book, you're even telling me here, go on a cruise. How do I go on a cruise? I need to be determined. Yes, I can go on the menu. Yes, I can. But by now, I don't have the menu anymore because I'm scrolling down. Actually, it's now, I think I'm stuck. No, I'm not stuck. So I am now, I don't have the menu anymore. So I don't know how to, So, and here, yes, now you tell me again, so I can do it here. Scenic cruises, charter cruises, and theme cruises. So again, I'm thinking how to help the user here. Because let's say I am target audience, 1000%. I want to go on this cruise. What would I go? So charter, actually, but you're making me think a little bit, because I have to think, charter cruises, probably not, unless I imagine I don't have that many people to go with. Theme cruises not to my taste, and then I would go to scenic cruises, and I'm actually going to click on this. Read more. I'm not a fan of read more. It's a little bit too vague. But anyway, so I'm just wondering whether there would be a way, you could ask a direct question. What do you fancy? You could actually have such a simple thing. You could have a form saying, what do you fancy? The scenic route, dressing up in fancy dress, or do you have a big party of people? And according to the answer that people give you, they get taken to the page. So that's a really nice way of making it, number one, interactive, but number two, absolutely the most important thing about the user. You get the user involved straight away.
Nice.
So sightseeing cruise around Savonlinna. Say again what's happening here. This text is really fighting with the background for me. So, sightseeing cruise on 1 hour, easy. I believe that this is something embedded. This has to be a booking system that's embedded. I think it looks like it, because I happen to know that this type of booking system is quite hard a lot of these companies already have a system. And actually, I was working with someone that has boats, and they had already, it's a system that they have, and all you do is you embed it. And that's probably why also the typeface is Helvetica rather than the typefaces that you use on the rest of the site. But, this works perfectly well. So if I wanted to go like, on the 20th, it's available. It's Boken embedded. Yeah, exactly. So 1 hour, easy. It's got photos. Takes you around the islands on which the town of Savonlinna is built, and lets you relax and see the sights from the lake.
Oh, brilliant. That's a nice picture. That one there, the open water, that was just...
This one. Yeah, it's great. Oh, yeah. It tells you Scandinavia, the woods. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Really want to go.
Yeah.
So this clearly, this is great. It's just so easy to know exactly what, 18 euros. I want to go. So really easy and nice. So yeah, this is just fine, really.
Chris, by the way, is wanting to know what you would put instead of read more in this particular context on the previous
what
page.
Would you put?
More info, or just reiterate what the actual subject you're about to click on is?
The read more thing. There's basically it doesn't mean much. It's I don't know. Let me think about it, Chris. Yeah, maybe reiterate what is the actual subject. This needs a better answer than this, and it will come. Also, I think here, Hanu, that you are borderline not accessible. This the contrast with, again, is quite small, but also the pale blue against the white. If someone wants to give me the hex code, I'll check it. But I think that the contrast is just not enough, I would say. Oh, yeah. And another thing is, if you want to be accessible, never have just the flag. Have also the text, because I think web readers will know. I assume that this has an alt text, but look how tiny it is. And also you're assuming that everybody knows what a flag is. And also, what about color blindness? So you always need just the icon hardly ever cuts it. Whatever the icon is, you also need to have text always. And you've got room, because look. In fact, yeah. So, okay, sorry. I was just looking at what it says. So anyway, so for instance, the Italian, Irish, Mexican flags, they're really similar.
Yeah, it's a really good point.
They are so similar. Yeah. They're basically, and one has the sequence. They all have the white in the center, the green, white, red, or orange, and they. Sometimes I can't remember the sequence. Like, that's really shameful. It's your own flag, and I see them together, and I'm like, which one is it?
Yeah, so, they're all the same.
I was thinking that if
you're very popular today.
Yeah, well, I can't go. I told them way later than 5:30. What am I going to do about this?
Oh, just let it ring. Nobody minds. It's life.
Yeah, well, they're coming from my oven, so the phone will ring.
Oh, I see. Oh, you go if you need to. You can knock it on the head there.
Yeah. I was thinking if you reiterate what we were about to do,
or
purposes. That's it, Chris. That's the point. That is the point about it. That is the point about it. So, I mean, we have come up to an hour. I have to get these people. Yeah, they're not going to stop, basically. Sorry about that. Sorry, Anu. I hope. Sorry, everyone. But anyway, I hope this was helpful, and we can continue the conversation. And thank you, Nathan, as usual.
You are very welcome. I will push you off the screen in a sort of slightly rude way. Thank you, Piccia.
Bye, guys. Amazing. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
That was interesting. A very sudden end. Piccia's had to go. I've already seen she's vacated the chair. Thanks for joining us, guys. Really appreciate it. If you want to share this, that we do this, You can do that in whichever way you feel most comfortable. We use the @WPBuilds Twitter handle, or you share it in Facebook, whatever you like, be most appreciated. If you go to wpbuilds.com/UI, you'll be able to discover when we're next live. We don't know yet, but we'll change it in a few days' time. And probably it'll be at the beginning of September. So thank you very much. Let's see if there's any comments coming in just before we go. I'll make sure that Piccia knows this. Hanno, definitely changing the buttons. Thanks a million for the tips. And Chris says, goodbye, Piccia. Well, goodbye from Piccia. And goodbye from me as well. I hope you have a wonderful week, what remains of it. And I will speak to you soon. Bye-bye.